Today we are taking a look back at the GoPro Hero 3 released in late 2012, but how good is it more than 10 years later? Let's start with the value of the camera. You can find them used for around 40 to 60 euros, and that price can still be a little bit expensive depending on how you look at it. Because you can also buy a brand new cheap action camera for the same price point that can shoot 1080, 60, sometimes even 4K 30. The build of this camera is pretty good. It is made from plastic and it has a small screen on the front. However, on the back it doesn't have a screen, so there is no way to preview your footage. You can control settings on the camera itself. So for example the resolution and frame rate, but also the field of view. However, the Hero 3 Silver supports resolutions in up to 1080p at 30 fps or 720p at 60 fps. The camera isn't waterproof without a case, so if you want to use it underwater, you need to use a case. And it's a very small camera. It also has a nice record button on the top. There are also a lot of tail lights on this camera, so you can always see when you are recording. And the battery life of this camera is decent, but because it's so old it isn't the best anymore. So I think it will last around half an hour, and that really depends on the condition of the battery. Because there is no screen on the back, you can't preview your footage. So if you want to do that, you need to connect it to the phone app, which can be really annoying. Or there's an additional accessory that you can attach, so you can view your footage on the screen. There are sadly no mounting points on the camera itself, so if you want to mount the camera, you need to put it in a case. It has a small lens on the front with a 1/2.3 inch sensor size with an aperture of f2.8. It only weighs 74 grams, which is not that much. And it shoots in MP4, but it sadly doesn't have any image stabilization, which can be very annoying. So if there's a lot of movement in your frame, then it might look very shaky. And it can take 11 megapixel photos at a 10 fps burst. Also, this camera still uses the old mini USB port instead of the micro USB or the USB-C that we have today. And there is also no audio input, so you will need to use the microphones that are on the camera, or you need to buy an adapter, which can be really annoying. The camera is very easy to use. You just press the power button and then it turns on, and then you can hit on the top to start recording a video. So I really like that. The photo quality is decent. It's nothing amazing in 2023. I think most phones can take better photos and videos. However, this thing is very small and you can put it in a lot of places. Video quality is also nothing special. However, it is very nice that it has a Pro Tune setting. So that means that you can get a flat color profile. And this camera does not have the super view mode. And low light of these cameras are very bad because of the tiny sensor. Also, there isn't really a manual mode. You can set a manual white balance, but that's about it. And the microphone is actually kind of decent when it's out of the case. Most of the time you put the camera in the case, and then the audio will be a lot worse. The lens is also infinity focus. That means that almost everything will be in focus. Should you buy one in 2023? Probably not, because this thing can only shoot in 1080p at 30 fps. Has not so good low light performance. But it is very small and you can put it in a lot of places. It was really fun looking back at the camera that is this old. And for the time, it was a really cool camera. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching.